NXT took place tonight from its home in Orlando, Florida at the WWE Performance Center. The new NXT champion Oba Femi, who regained the title this past Saturday at Deadline from Ricky Saints, started the show off. He had a quick promo before Ricky Saints interrupted him. Then Javon Evans came out, and he is, of course, the Iron Survivor. He decided to cash in his title shot tonight, and that means we will not get Oba Femi and Javon Evans at New Year's Eve. Instead, we got it tonight. Ricky is trying to get Javon to change his mind, but Oba agrees to it, and we get a major main event match tonight. Oba Femi defending his NXT Championship against Javon Evans. The match that was promoted for New Year's Eve is happening a month early. We got an NXT spotlight on the rivalry highlighting Jordan Grace and Kalani Jordan. They've been feuding for, feels like months now. We got a John Cena hype-up video as he's retiring this Saturday. They showed Tatum Paxley very sad backstage. Oh, I feel so bad for her. Kalani Jordan was out next, and she took on Jordan Grace. So, they had a good matchup here. I enjoyed it for a while. It felt like the end of the rivalry in a way. So, you had Jordan Grace make a mistake. I think she introduced a chair, and that kind of backfired. And what happens is Kalani Jordan kicks Jordan Grace off the apron, and she goes crashing through the barricade. It was actually a pretty good spot. Like, the barricade kind of smashes, almost like a toy in a way, but it still looked good. It was a good spot. Kalani Jordan then throws Jordan Grace back in the ring, and she hits a 450 splash onto Jordan Grace and pins her 1-2-3. So Kalani Jordan with a big win, one of her bigger wins in a long time. It's a much more impactful win than holding the TNA Knockouts Championship. So good win for Kalani Jordan. I'd like to see her get back in the title picture, and hopefully she gets a big push in 2026. I really feel like her and Sol Ruka, who we'll talk about later, have a lot of potential, and I think they're going to be called up sooner than later, along with another woman who we never see anymore. I don't know if she's hurt, Miss Jada Parker, but we never get to see her anymore. We see Blake Monroe in the makeup chair, and then we see all the NXT women in the locker room angry. Jordan is upset she lost. Then Thea Hale walks in. She gives her a motivational prep talk. It seemed like Jordan's about to turn heel on Thea soon. We got the Blake Monroe Open Challenge. So Blake is talking for a bit on the microphone. Then the entire NXT women's locker room practically comes to accept the bigger names. And Thea Hale actually jumps Blake from behind and locks her into a Kimura lock. And Blake submits to the Kimura. And the match never officially got started, so it doesn't count, but it will count next week. Then we go backstage. We see Kelly Kincaid, who was looking great tonight, interviewing Shiloh Hill before his debut. Lexis King was in the ring next, and we get Shiloh Hill against Lexis King. Squash match. Shiloh Hill wins. We all know he would win, but I didn't expect it to be like a total jobber squash match. Doesn't look good for Lexis King right now. So up next, Kelly Kincaid is backstage. She's interviewing the NXT champion Oba Femi ahead of his match tonight. Ethan Page was out next. He takes a subtle shot at John Cena. Subtle shot against John Cena. And I don't know exactly why he did it. He's not wrestling him, but he kind of mentioned how people would forget about John Cena. And to be fair, John Cena mentioned that in an interview. And then the lights go out, and we see the Don, Tony D'Angelo, walking toward the screen. We saw the exact same thing at Deadline. He appears behind Ethan Page, and he chokeslams him. Sol Ruka and Ren Sinclair were heading to the ring ahead of their match, and of course Ren was accompanied by her good friend Kendall Gray, who won the Iron Survivor women's match at Deadline. We see Dark State walking backstage. Dion Lennox then walks into Ava's office, and Miles Bourne, Joe Hendry, and Leon Slater were all present. And then the four of them, she called Dion in. We're going to have a Fatal 4-Way match next week, and the winner was set to face the winner of the Oba Femi Javon Evans match, which happened tonight. So technically we get like an Iron Survivor rematch as a Fatal 4-Way, and the winner actually gets the title shot at New Year's Eve. I assume of those four, it's probably Miles Bourne. I think that'd make the most sense. And you want to actually have some drama, thinking that Oba could lose, because if it's Joe Hendry, he's not losing. If it's Leon Slater, he's certainly not losing to a TNA guy. So I think, and obviously he won't lose to Dion Lennox. I think Miles Bourne definitely is going to win. So then Ethan Page storms in after being attacked by Tony D'Angelo. He's upset. She kind of mocks him. They mock him too. Ren Sinclair was in the ring with her friend Kendall Gray. Then Sol Ruca makes her entrance. We get Sol Ruca and Ren Sinclair. This is, of course, before Sol has the biggest match of her career this Saturday at Saturday Night's Main Event when she takes on Bayley. And they showed Zarya watching in the crowd. She's very sad. Sol beat Ren with the Soul Snatcher. After the match, she goes into the crowd and chases after Zarya. She's upset too about what's happening. Fatal Influence was out next. Then when you come back from break, they're in the ring with Kendall and Ren. JC is just so obnoxious to listen to. She's so generic in her promos. They're so boring. She's nauseating to listen to. Her voice just sounds very nasally. I don't know if people have picked up on that. She's awful. There's nothing to her. She doesn't look like a star. If anything, I actually see the people next to her, Kendall Gray. Kendall, of course, her opponent, but Lainey Reed and Fallon Henley, I think they have so much more potential than JC Jane. There's nothing to JC Jane. I don't see why Shawn Michaels sees so much into her. I don't know why he's pushed her to the moon. I really feel like this push of JC Jane by Shawn Michaels should have cost him his job. I know it's not going to happen. Triple H is not going to fire his best friend. I think Triple H should be fired with the way he's booking the main roster, but Shawn's doing a horrible job with this. He's killed the NXT Women's Division by pushing her. She's awful. She's easily been the worst part of NXT this year. And there's been bad stuff, but I hate this JC Jane title reign. Like, it feels like this will never end. We'll never be done with it. It's so awful. The promo sucks. It's just so generic. There's nothing to it. Eventually, Kendall Gray gets on the mic, and she actually does a really good job. And you can just see it. I don't think I've seen a prospect that's had so much more. Like, I don't know if I've seen an NXT prospect for the women that I've seen have so much this level of potential as Kendall Gray does. Maybe Bianca Belair. I think that one was pretty obvious. I guess Rhea Ripley. That one we could see. That definitely. But Kendall, it's really incredible to see the amount of potential she has. Maybe Toni Storm, but it didn't work out. She went to AEW and had success there, but it didn't work out for her on the main roster in WWE. But she was one I thought absolutely is a major star. It didn't really happen for different reasons. But Bianca, Rhea, those were obviously going to be big stars. Charlotte, of course, she was the most obvious, I think. Sasha Banks, people thought, didn't necessarily. I mean, she was a big star, but she eventually left. So there's been NXT women who've come through, and we've seen them in developmental, and we just knew they were going to be big stars. Kendall Gray is in that category. She absolutely has all the tools, and they eventually went back and forth. Fatal Influence attacked Kendall and Ren. They left them laying. That was the segment. We got a Hank and Take promo from Tokyo. Kelly Kincaid interviewed Hank and Take backstage. Turned out the Belly Boys. OTM mocks them. Set up a match next week. Blake Monroe complained to Ava in her office after she was attacked tonight. She says the open challenge is done. She will defend her title against Thea Hale next week. We see Sol Ruca talking to Zarya outside. Sol wants her there for her match against Bayley this Saturday at Saturday Night's Main Event. They preview next week's show, and then we get our main event, the NXT Championship on the line. Oba Femi defends the title he just won this past Saturday against Javon Evans. So Oba got the heat early on, and there was a funny spot on the outside. Basically, Javon is right by the announce booth. Oba goes for a spear onto Javon that would send him tumbling over the announce booth, but instead Javon moves out of the way, and Oba actually spears Booker T, which Booker sold it well. He actually took a bump. We got to see Booker T take a bump. Then there was multiple near falls. I can't recount all the action because so much happens and it's just so fast paced that I really can't talk about everything, especially with Javon Evans, because man, the guy just goes so fast. He hit two cutters, and the first was a regular cutter, and the second was the springboard cutter. It looks like it's over 1-2, but right when I saw how the referee was positioned, he immediately positioned himself to be with his back towards the entrance area, the ramp, and I knew, all right, someone's pulling him out. 1, 2, and then it's Ricky Saints. Ricky Saints pulls out the referee. Javon Evans is shocked. He screws over Javon Evans. Javon goes back in the ring, and Oba hits some offense onto him, and he hits the fall from grace. 1, 2, 3. Oba Femi pins Javon Evans once again to retain the NXT Championship. Ricky Saints officially turns heel. He turns on Javon Evans, and that is how NXT ended tonight. I thought it was a good ending, and I thought the first hour was kind of slow, especially I like the Kalani Jordan Grace match, but after that it kind of got slow. But then I thought the second hour picked up, and I thought the main event segment, the way it ended, was actually great. So I definitely thought NXT was a good follow-up from Deadline, and we're going to see what happens next. I assumed Ricky was going to turn on Javon after he won the NXT Championship from Oba, but I guess Oba's going to be champion, for a little bit longer going into the next year. I thought he would debut at the Rumble, but maybe Oba's going to he's going to stay in NXT until after WrestleMania. I don't know, but that was how NXT ended tonight, and I thought overall was a good show and a good follow-up to Deadline. The next big thing for NXT is that they are going to be featured at Saturday night's main event, as per request by the man who's going to be having his last match on Saturday, John Cena. I just wanted to mention this attach it to my NXT review. You have to give John Cena so much credit. This really should just be a 2-hour tribute show. I think that's what most people want, but Cena insisted on having the future of the company, the developmental brand NXT. He wants them to be featured. He wants people to see the future of the WWE. He wants to do exhibitions where they face the main roster, all by John Cena. So it's a huge opportunity for NXT. It's a huge opportunity for Javon Evans and Leon Slater. It's a huge opportunity for Sol Ruka, and it's a huge opportunity for Oba Femi. So they all have big matches. There's 4 matches announced, and you really have to give credit to John Cena for really going out of his way to have NXT featured on his final appearance with the WWE.